simplifying. So we're jumping to day 12. And we are multiplying 4 times everything inside the parentheses. Whoops. We even have a 4 term here. So the answer would be 4 times x to the third minus 4 times 3 is 12 x squared plus 4 times x is 4x, and then minus 4 times 2 is 8. Now, what's the question I need to ask myself if I get to this point? Is it in what? Standard form. Yes. Is that in standard form? Am I going from greatest to smallest degree? What's the degree of this first term? What's the degree of the first term? 3. What's the degree of this second term? What's the degree on the next term? 1. And what's the degree of a constant? Should be 0. Is that going from greatest to least? Yeah. David, Tristan, put the phones away. Come on. They are not helping you. Okay? All right. So, yes, this is in standard form. This is the correct answer. Anybody have that for a correct answer? Nice. Okay. Let's go to the second one. I want everybody watching me for the second one. Okay? We went over this yesterday. People are still having difficulty. I have a trinomial, which is 3 terms, minus another trinomial. We do not subtract in between those polynomials. Instead, you change that to addition, and you take the opposite of every term inside. So what is a positive x squared becomes a negative right there. What was a negative 4x becomes a positive, and what was negative 7 becomes positive 7. Okay? All right, so we keep the first all the same. You don't change anything in that first polynomial. So that is 5x squared plus 2x minus 3. And then I want to line up those like terms. So I have a negative x squared. So I'm going to put this here. Negative x squared. And that is a negative 1. I have a positive 4x. So I'm going to put that here. And finally, a positive 7. Remember, we do not subtract, we add. Okay? So you can add a positive plus a negative. So 5x squared plus negative 1x squared. What am I really adding? What am I adding together here? Yeah, the coefficients only. So 5 plus negative 1 is 4. The x squared stays the same. Again, it's like 2x plus 3x. That's 5x. You don't change the like terms behind it, right? Plus 2x plus 4x is going to give me how much? 6x. And negative 3 plus 7 is going to give me 4. Is that in standard form? Yes. Degree of 2, degree of 1, degree of 0. Okay? Any questions about how to change a subtraction problem to adding the opposite? Because you will see that again on the test. Okay. All right, let's go to the notes then. Can I what? Okay. I think I can. I can find it. All right. Hey, come on. Desmond. Desmond. Are you feeling badly? Let's get your head up. Come on. We're not here to sleep. You can do that at home. All right. Do you need this any longer? Daylin, are you done? Okay. All right. So let's go into your notes, please. And let's look at, it's been a while since we've been in the notes. This is page 8. Page 8. We are learning how to multiply binomials. What's a binomial? Yeah, it's a polynomial with two terms, okay? So we are multiplying two-term polynomials by two terms polynomials. So here's an example. They can be multiplied with the box or by using the double distributing method, all right? So first of all, we're going to learn the box method. This is page 8. Page 8, okay? So x minus 2, what you're going to do is put, I would say, the first one up on the top. So the x goes above the box here, and the minus goes above the vertical line, and then we have 2. And then x plus 6 is going to go here on this side. So x plus 6. But it really doesn't matter which one goes on top and which one goes on the side. Just for us to be consistent, I'm going to do the top one, or the first one on the top. Okay? So then, as you look at this, you are going to multiply. Okay? So you are going to multiply x here times x here. And this is x to the first times x to the first, which gives you x squared. Okay? And then you're going to go to the next one, over to the right. That is looking at x in blue times negative 2. X times negative 2. So putting the coefficient first, that's going to be negative 2x. Is everybody with me so far? Jaylyn, can you please put your backpack down? All right, so then we go to the bottom left. I am going to multiply the 6 in the bottom here times the value up above, which is an x, and 6 times x is 6x. And then finally, you are going to multiply the 6 in blue times the negative 2. So 6 times negative 2 gives me negative 12. Okay? So all of these values, after I have multiplied them, I'm going to write them together and say that is x squared minus 2x plus 6x and minus 12. And what you should notice is that the ones on the diagonal are always going to be able to combine. So I have like terms in the negative 2x plus 6x. And when I combine those together, what do we get? What do I get? No, because I got negative 2. So that's going to be 4x, right? So that gives me 4x. I don't have anything to combine with x squared. This was a positive 4x, and there's nothing to combine with the negative 12. So this is my final answer. And yes, it is in standard form. Any questions about that? That is called the box method because we put our factors, what we are multiplying, together on the outside of the boxes. That is the box method. Okay? I'm also going to show you the double distributive method. Okay? So I'm going to start that by saying x minus 2 times x plus 6. Okay? You are going to take your first term and multiply it by the first term in the second polynomial, and also then multiply it by the second term in the second polynomial. Okay? So this would be like multiplying x times the first term, x, plus, back to my original x here, x times 6. Okay? And then I'm going to take the second term of the first polynomial, which is a negative 2. And I'm going to multiply that by the first term of the second polynomial and then by the second term in the second polynomial. David, are you with me? Okay. So negative 2, I'm going to move this over. Negative 2 times the first term in the second polynomial is x. And then I'm going to take negative 2 times the second term, which is the 6. Okay? So now I'm going to look at these, and I'm going to say x times x is x squared. Remember, you keep the base, add the exponents. I have here x times 6, that is 6x. Here I have negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. So if I add 6x and negative 2x, that gives me 4x. And then finally, negative 2 times 6 gives me minus 12. Okay? Notice this is a totally different method, but it gets you the same answer. Okay? So the first one is called the box method because you put it on the outside of the box. And the second one is called double distributive method. Okay? Any questions about either of those? How many right now think you like the box method better? Raise your hand. Anybody think they like the double distributive better? Okay, you can use whichever method that you like, all right? Are there any questions before I go on? Because I'm going to do a little bit of both for each. All right, let's take a look at example A. First of all, I'm going to do the box method. So in the box method, you literally make a square. And you divide it into 4 equal sections. The very first binomial, this only works for a binomial times a binomial for right now. So I put the first term above the first column. I put whatever operation above the vertical line. And then I put my second term of that first polynomial in the second column. And then x plus 7 goes along the side. But again, it really doesn't matter because you will get the same answer. So now we multiply. So x here times the red x above gives me x squared. Then I go to the right. The blue x times -1 gives me -1x. The blue +7 times the red x above gives me 7x. And finally, the blue 7 from the left and -1 from above. 7 times -1 is going to be -7. You should look and know that these two terms on the diagonal are going to be like terms. So writing them down, I have x squared minus 1x plus 7x minus 7. Here are my like terms. -1x and 7x gives me 6x. So my final answer is x squared plus 6x minus 7. Okay? Any questions on that? All right, so now I'm going to do double distributive. So I'm going to take x minus 1 times x plus 7. And I'm going to do this x times those first two of the second polynomial. Okay? So that is x times x. Come on. Plus red x times my 7. Well, come on. There we go. It's always great until technology doesn't work. Then I'm going to take, after I multiply those two, my second term from the first polynomial times each of these in the second. So then I'm going to take -1 times x, and then I'm going to take -1 times 7. Okay? I'm going to add these together. So x times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. -1 times x is -1x. That gives me 6x. And -1 times 7 is -7. It is in standard form, and it gave me the same answer. Okay? I got all this stuff from my hands back here. All right. Any questions about that? Let's do, because I don't think we need to do all of these. Let's go down to D. Down to D. Any questions on example 1A? Is there anything that seems like it's hard to understand? Is anybody out there? Does anybody like ice cream? What's your favorite ice cream? No? You guys are a tough crowd this morning. All right, so I'm going to do the box method first. I'm going to put 3p minus 9. 3p, that is the whole first term. So I put both of those above that first column, minus 9. And then on the side, 2p plus 6. Okay? Eventually, if you like the box method, you do not need to rewrite it. Okay, David? So, but I'm going to keep writing it for now. So that's 2p times 3p. So 2 times 3 is 6. And P times P is P squared. Okay? So then I take 2P times the value above, which is -9. 2 times -9 is going to be -18P. Down in the bottom left corner, I have 6 times the value in the first column at the top times 3P. 6 times 3 is 18P. And finally, I have bottom left, that is 6 times the top of the second column times -9. 6 times -9 is -54. So all of these you write down. I have 6P squared minus 18P plus 18P minus 54. So these two are like terms. Now, what is -18P plus 18P? 0. Is it 0P? No, it is 0 because 0 times P is 0. Those actually totally cancel out. So we are left with 6P squared minus 54. Most of the time, your answers are going to have 3 terms, okay? But if those middle 2 terms cancel out exactly, then you'll be left with 2 terms, okay? Any questions about D? All right, I'm going to do one more using the double distributive. So this is 3P minus 9 times 2P plus 6. Okay? So I'm going to take 3P times each of those in the second polynomial. Yay! David, can you sing like that? No? Are you sure? So 3 times 2 is 6. P times P is P squared. Then I'm going to take 3P times 6. 3 times 6 is 18. And I have a P. Okay, so the more you do this, you don't have to necessarily write down each term. You can just multiply. Then I'm going to take the second term of my first polynomial and multiply it by each of the terms in the second. So -9 times 2 is -18P, and -9 times 6 is -54. Add those two together, 6P squared, 18 and -18P, those are going to cancel out, and you're left with minus 54. Again, same answer as here. One using the box method, one using double distributive. Okay? Any questions about box method or double distributive? Now that you've had more examples, how many of you think you like the box method best? Okay, how many think they like double distributive? Oh, somebody's at the door. Can somebody grab the door? Rihanna, are you with us? I don't even know who that is. Okay, so I am going to stop there for today. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, hey. Did you even knock on the door?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you guys hear a knock? We didn't hear a knock. All right, thank you. Let's see. Product of sum and difference. I'm just looking for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for today. You can now begin working on homework number 3. You should have a separate homework packet. Okay, homework number 3. And I am giving you a decent amount of time here. Homework number 3 is due on Thursday. You won't be able to do all of it. Okay? Let me find that and see which ones you should be able to do. So, homework number 3. Homework packet. So that should be, if you turn in 1 or 2, 1 and 2, should be the last one of that packet. So it looks like you could probably do all of them on the first page. And maybe the top 2 on the back side, okay? So homework number 3, use the box method or double distributive, and let's be working on those, okay? All right. You finished it? Okay. All right. Hey, here is the thing you missed. So, let me grab my pen. And let's see here, 7:49. So you need to go to the attendance office way up at the front.
Yes.
Okay? You can go now. Like, take all your stuff. Because I'm not sure if you'll be back or not. All right, Nick, any questions?